take notes off from it. So, um, okay, you just went away. Your picture just went away.
It did.
Yeah, I don't know.
Oh, let me hit this. Huh.
It says let everyone know they're being recorded. Just know you're being recorded.
I'm being recorded, but it's not showing up.
Yeah, I don't know. No, it went away and came back. I'm
Something
gonna
screwing up on us.
I'm gonna experiment. Oh,
There
there
we
you are. You're
go.
back.
Yeah.
Who knows?
It it was showing it was messed up at the top.
Yeah, technology. All right. Well, I guess then, is there anything? I mean, we were just talking about that job and learning from the mistakes of it and having to run a um, quick trip to a job site to check on stuff. Anything else in particular that um, you would like to vent about?
I am it's the same, well, it's not the same thing as always, but it's I'm choosing to look at it as an embarrassment of riches, but I
Embarrassment
am
of riches?
I am so snowed under with bids and proposals and it just doesn't. I can go bid two, and by the time I get back, I've gotten three calls. So
Which
and
is,
then and that's good, but I still haven't gotten the proposals out because I'm so busy bidding, and then I've still got jobs to run, and
yeah.
it's um it's getting tough. It's getting tough. It's affecting me. I'm staying up
Well,
late and not doing right.
and I think that ties right in with one of the things that I was thinking if we didn't have anything specific today to talk about was productivity.
Mhm.
And, you know, this is something that we all deal with every day, all the time. How can we be the most productive? What does productivity look like? What does it mean to you to be productive?
Um, where just if I could just stay hooked up and get one thing knocked out after another, that would be great. But like I was trying to explain yesterday, what happens is I'm thinking of I've got a big project I'm bidding that's got and I'm trying to work through this one proposal on another project, and I'm like, well, I've got to lift the wall up, I've got to cut this wall off. And I'm thinking, and then I'm like, speaking of walls, what about that radius wall? How am I going to scaffold that out at this other project? And next thing you know, I'm three jobs off from where I started. And it takes so long to get my mind back to it's like I have to catch myself and snap out of it and then get back to what I was actually doing because my mind's just off. And that's what kills me. And then if I get a phone call, I'm thrown off and it takes so long to get back. And um it's I just need to, I think in order to be productive, I've got to just get everything else quieted as far as like getting the phone cut off. I don't know how to get my brain cut off from them other jobs, but
Well, and of course, it's funny. Of course, this part of it, this is coming from my thoughts on our coaching this afternoon anyway. And part of what I thought we wanted to look at, which ties in with productivity, which ties in perfectly with what you're saying
yeah.
right now and how to handle that. And this is me thinking through it because of dealing with the same thing all the time.
Yeah.
And I mean, okay, just as an example, and I mean this, you'll be able to. Yeah, I'm trying to finish chapter 9 of the book.
Hmm.
I was supposed to have it done 2 weeks ago. Um, and that was, you know, there wasn't a hard stop, lose a publishing contract or something if I didn't have it done by then.
Right.
It wasn't anything like that, but it's a matter of, if we want to get the book out in a timely manner, and we've got a target date of, July, and or at least being ready to go to the publisher with it by the end of June. Well, part of it is we don't know just exactly how many chapters are going to be totally, but expecting another 4 or 5. And then chapter 9, she needs it so she can edit it. And so I need to get it to her. And I had, like I say, originally the week of like the 7th is when I planned on having it to her, which is, like I say,
2 weeks.
It'll be 3 weeks at the end of this week. And
Yeah.
so I have really spent some time the last couple of weeks, every time I could find to write, but there's a limit on that to try and keep everything else going. Well, so yesterday I was planning on, because I had a meeting with the editor yesterday afternoon. So it was like, okay, I need to have this done by the time we meet. And to your point, I worked on it a while yesterday morning, had some writing time scheduled, and but things didn't work out just right on, schedule, and things happened, so I didn't quite get it done. So I was going to work on it again, before we met. Then she ended up moving the meeting back an hour, which gave me a little more time.
Yeah.
But there's always things going on, and the way it all played out, our meeting was a little shorter than normal, and I used the time that was left from the meeting to write, and I did get it done yesterday. So
Oh, good.
now, it is over 13,000 words, that one chapter is. It was a long chapter. And we'll talk to her about it more after we get it done. We may split it. Point being, all of this stuff comes down to a multitude of priorities, and time available on the calendar. I mean, we have a limited amount of time every day, and how we are going to spend it and spend it wisely. Are we going to focus on the chapter, or are we going to focus on projection, or are we going to focus on a proposal? Where, and like you say, then you get 2 or 3 phone calls that, or texts that are important because it's on a job and there's an issue and all of those different things. And like yesterday, my priority was to get that chapter done. I mean, that was one of my high priorities yesterday. Now, things are moving around all day long in that, but to your point a while ago, you've got 5 proposals you're trying to get done and get out. It's about, okay, I'm going to get this one out today, or I'm going to get these 2 out today. Now, it's always hard to figure out exactly how much time it's going to take to do it. You can allow an hour or 2 or 3, and it may take longer. I know for me personally, if I think I can do it in a couple hours and I put in 3, it'll take me 4.
Right.
If I put in 2, I won't be done when it's ready to go, but I may be done by 2.5 or 3, and it's, but it's that going, okay, stop listening, looking, thinking about all these other things and get focused on this one thing. But like I say, that's hard to do.
That's something I struggle with. Yeah.
Yeah.
What I wind up doing is I push and I go until I get just trying to work on everything until I get like I passed out. Well, I didn't pass out, but I fell asleep on the couch
Yeah.
last night, like 9 o'clock. And woke up at 2:30 and then come in here and did an hour and a half work at 2:30. Then I'm like, what are you doing? This is stupid. So then I went back to bed and it screwed my morning up. And it's just been an absolute crap show ever since
Right.
I woke up
Yeah. Yeah.
because of what I did last night. Because I was so far behind because I didn't prioritize and block out time.
And the intentions were all good. Then, I
Yeah.
mean, but it is hard to, and I think that's one of the things that contractors in general just deal with is it's just hard to get everything figured out. I mean, and what makes one thing more important than another.
Yeah.
Um, and I know for me, that's where I feel like I have better control over that now than I ever have. But you just heard me talking about yesterday and how that went.
Yeah.
Um, Now, to that point, there were two or three things that I wanted to get done yesterday. I wanted to get the Sunday school blog post finished so Emily could have it today to do what she needs to do. I wanted to get the chapter 9 done. And so once the chapter 9 was done, I worked on the Sunday school post, got it ready to go. Now, there were two or three other things that I didn't get done. We have a township board meeting tonight, and I've got to get an agenda out, get the bank statement reconciled, things like that. And I need to get the agenda out relatively soon because they're going to I'll email it to them, and I need to get it to the other two board members in time that they can see it before we meet. And, you know, um, So just those kind of things. I was going to do that last night, but it's like, okay, move them down the list. And it's like, okay, that one's going to, so I've already worked on that a little bit. Matter of fact, that's what I was doing when you were waiting a minute or two for me to get on here.
Yeah.
Was I was working on that, just filling time. Um, yeah, it's just, and that's where I think that planning journal and prioritizing and organizing what is the most important thing, um and I know that I there are always ways to do it better, but um
You told on yourself with your grandma.
like for me, for example, sales tax is due today.
Ah.
The 25th is when sales tax is due to the state, and if I let it go past even later in the day today, it rolls over to the next business day and there's a penalty and an interest charged on it. Now, it's a few cents probably or a dollar or two, but I don't like spending
Still.
that money
Yeah.
on stuff and so that will be my number one priority today.
Yeah. The government doesn't need any more of your money than it's already getting.
Right. Yeah. And but it's just one of those things where so that's how I kind of look at this, and I just go through that and put things in an order of priority. Now, that doesn't mean that there's not a smaller thing on the list of, to-dos that's a lesser priority, and I end up with a 15-minute window that I can plug in one or two of those little things. I can plug them in and get them off the list, but that's where you've got to be careful to not get off into the weeds and go, oh, that's not what I've got to get done first. And so all of those deals, and then that all comes back to, if I'm too busy, do I need to just say, okay, I don't need to be on the township board. I don't need to be on the church committees. I don't need to, there are places where I can go, okay, limited time. I don't have any more time. I need to say no. And fits right in with the book that Emily and I and Shep just finished reading called Necessary Endings.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. And it's by Dr. Henry Cloud. And but it's a really good book in that it's just like, okay, and it has it's things to say no to and or ways to um end different kind of relationships that employees or customers or things that just it's like, this is not good, this doesn't fit, I need to end this. And so anyway, but it's those are things that it's tough. It's just tough to do, but
I haven't even, I'm not even on township boards or church committees, and I can't get it
Yeah.
all together. I take a kid fishing once in a while. That's about it. Um, I still can't get anything done. I'm just not focused and productive on one thing, I guess, because I haven't sat down and blocked out this time is for this. It's all just general work and I do whatever pops up. And
right.
so it's not prioritized. It's not focused.
Right. Well, just get prepared because this afternoon we're probably going to dig into that a little bit.
Oh, no.
No, no. Oh,
Oh,
good. Oh,
no.
yes. Yes. And
So-
and that's the thing, well, and a lot of this even is coming out of writing the book right now. And that the fact that we have control. So back to your point of last night,
Yeah.
now you fell asleep because you were exhausted. I mean, that's what it
Mhm.
boiled down to. At 9:30, you fell asleep because you were exhausted. Um, and I know this because I've been there and done those things, and that's where scheduling things on the calendar and prioritizing. I mean, there's two or three different avenues that kind of come together that can help sort through some of those things and be intentional about what it is, and so yeah, it's hard, but and I think the other part of it is we have to, you know, it's being aware of all those different things that are there going on and understanding how they work and how we can use them better and then taking that action to do what it is that, you know, and there again, that doesn't mean it's always going to work perfectly. It just means that we're taking control. That's what it really boils down to, is taking control and not feeling like we're just, you know, going through the motions, and that that we have that power to do that. So, um, any other thoughts on productivity or anything beyond that
Um, oh, I had something, but I lost it. I can't remember what it was.
sure glad I'm not the only one that does that.
Yeah. Boy, I'm sure it was charming and well thought out.
Oh,
And
yeah, amazing, no doubt.
greatest point ever.
Yeah,
Yeah. Um, I can't recall.
yeah, I get it.
Hopefully I'll remember by 1:30.
Yeah, there you go. So, um, are you, I know you were talking last week about ways of diversifying. Have you given any more thought to that or?
Um, well, a little. I'm kind of um I've been talking um to the guy who invented this this chemical that binds clay and
Uh-huh,
reduces plasticity and all that. And right now it's just kind of all in his on his end.
right,
So I've gotten about a week reprieve. He was going out of town and and he had some stuff to kind of put together because I want to make sure it's practical application for what
right.
we're doing before I even consider it.
Consider
And
it.
then
Yeah,
also we got to make sure the investment fits.
right.
Um,
And then,
so
there's always that question. I mean, this is one of those things that's a long term before there is concrete evidence of working or
yeah,
not working.
there's the fear of the snake oil salesman.
Yeah, well, yeah, and just and maybe even having every intention that it's going to work and believes that it does, and evidence says that it does, but in 20 years,
It
is it
breaks
going
down.
to
Yeah.
still be working, or is it going to be a 5-year thing and,
Yeah.
then it starts deteriorating and oh no, we're right back where we were and we were counting on that and that, yeah, and those are the kinds of deals where finding that balance of trying new things and, you know, being on that cutting edge and then going, oh boy, that didn't do
Yeah.
what I expected it to do. So,
If it works like it would in my head and stays like that, then it's great.
yeah,
It's a heck of a course of action here, but who's to say and what's the evidence that's going to prove that it is?
right, right,
You can't you can you can do tests, you can test everything except longevity
right.
immediately. I mean, longevity just takes as long as it takes.
Yeah.
So I don't know.
Well, yeah, I mean, we can see a little better. I mean, just as a comparison, treated material, treated lumber, used to be, when um, they were using arsenic and so on to treat it, it would last for
Yeah.
years.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
then because of, issues with that and, one or two people suing them and so on, and they quit using arsenic, and now it doesn't last much longer than just untreated lumber.
Yeah, it's just heavier.
Yeah,
Heavier and warps
heavier
more.
and wetter when you get it, and then
Yeah.
it might last another day or two longer, but it's just not. I mean, I have already gone in on jobs that were not that old and replaced floor joists on decks and
Mhm.
stuff because they just rotted, they just deteriorated. And
Yeah.
so, and it's the same thing, you look at these different things like um manufactured lumbers
Oh,
and
yeah.
I mean, how long are they going to stay together before they start falling apart
Yeah,
and
the strong woods
yeah,
um they've got some amazing stuff out there.
yeah,
But yeah, the longevity of it, the viability of it, how hard is it to work with?
right,
And then the supply chain is so expensive to get. Because my thought was, I've thought this for years, anytime we replace a threshold, under the door, because we get called to do that a lot because they're always rotted. And it expands out from there. Everything drops. You've dealt with it, but
right,
every time we do that, let's replace the seal with lumber instead of treated lumber in that little area. So that way it
right,
wouldn't rot. But
right,
it's hard to get. Who knows how long it's going to last? Is there other issues?
yep, yep,
It's yeah.
yep,
So
yeah, it is one of those things where it's hard to say. So
yeah. All right.
all right, well, I guess our time is up, and so we will
Meet back
see
here
you
at
next. We'll
1:30.
see you this afternoon, and then we'll see you
Yeah.
again next week.
Yeah. Yeah. All right. I'm gonna go put that check in the bank and try to
All
kick up
right,
another problem.
all right, yeah. Just check things off the list and
Yep.
be prepared for this afternoon.
Yep. All righty. We'll see you later.
All right, talk to you then.
All right. Bye.